Hello, everyone. I'm Brian Dragon, and welcome to Dungeons and Dragons World for Minecraft. Yeah. Well, here we go. Hmm.
Hey, glad you made it. I'm really happy that you're willing to give this game a shot. It's one of my favourite things to do with friends. Between the role-playing, strategy, and just being goofy with each other, it's always a great time. D&D has something for every kind of player. Now, you said the other day that you wanted to just get kind of an intro experience before joining my regular campaign group. So I figured a more individual sort of experience would be a good way of showing you the ropes. Give you an idea of what the experience can feel like. Just take a seat whenever you feel like getting started. I've got snacks that should last us until the end of the universe, so help yourself to those too.
Oh, maps, not map. Yeah.
Good to go? Okay, so first things first, let's choose your class. I've got the basics already written up for a few of them, so you only need to worry about picking one. Do you want to be a holy warrior with the ability to heal yourself and smite your foes with the power of your deity? Paladin might be the way to go. Oh, or maybe a wizard, using your magic to blast bad guys sky high with fireballs while deflecting incoming attacks? But a rogue could be fun too. Hit and run tactics, poisoning your enemies and watching them succumb to the venom. So satisfying. But it's also lots of fun to just be a barbarian with a big axe. Barbarians can get so angry that they just kind of forget that they've been hit and keep hacking away.
Well, I do typically main barbarian, but my barbarians aren't
I always have
exactly
a hard
one of
time
Lamel.
choosing when I'm a player, so take your time.
No. Oh, uh, yes. There we go. Let's see. Weapon longsword damage. Okay, hold on. The Well, that pretty much decides it, doesn't it? The damage and defense look great.
Okay, next let's allocate your stats. You want me to explain how stats and dice rolling work in this game? Stats determine what you're good at. Each stat has a use in combat, but they can also apply to role-playing situations and other things you do while adventuring in the world. Whenever you roll the 20-sided die, you'll add whichever stat applies to the roll. So, say you've got a +3 in wisdom and need to see if someone is telling the truth, you would roll the d20 and add 3 to whatever you rolled. That insight check would show how well you're able to read that person's intentions and emotions. Rolling high means you can understand them and see through any lies they might be telling. Rolling low means that you believe whatever they're saying. Within reason, of course. If you roll a 20 on that die, then you'll almost certainly succeed at whatever you're trying to do, or at least get useful info. Let's try an example. You are speaking to a tavern keeper, asking after some local bandits that you've been hired to hunt down. He talks easily enough, but he says that he has no information on these people or where to find them. Okay, you rolled a 10, so add 3 to that. With a 13, you notice him tense and almost physically withdraw when you ask him about the bandits, giving you the sense that he is hiding something and knows more about the situation than he's letting on. That's pretty much it. Rolling a 20 when you hit someone in a fight also counts as a critical hit and doubles how much damage you do to them. Rolling a 1 on that die, though, can be really bad news. Sometimes it just means failing whatever you're doing. Sometimes it means failing so spectacularly that you, I don't know, fall down a flight of stairs, out of a window and into a pen of screaming goats. Okay, probably not that specifically, but you get the idea.
Okay, I have to use that for whenever I do a campaign of my own, whenever that will be.
You'll also see that your class already has stats that will best support their abilities. How you add your extra stat points is up to you. Do you want to make them better at what they already do, or do you want to balance them out a bit? You'll get more stat points to distribute as we play, so don't worry about this step too much.
Okay, 5 stats available. Well, it's a start.
And like that, you've made your first character. Congrats! Now, how about we dive right into things? Let me just set the scene for you. The continent of Faerun has seen hundreds of stories turn into legends. The Dawn Age, when dwarves overthrew
Sorry, that was,
giants and elves waged war against evil dragons, thereby carving out a place in the world for small folk. The tyranny of the Rose Dragon, when the great red worm Ylvir Asalisar nearly razed Kalimshan and established her cruel empire. The time of troubles, when celestials and fiends alike were cast from their own realms, warring and laying waste to the mortal plane in their efforts to reclaim their divine positions. Yet each great story has great people steering the narrative. The Rose Dragon's empire only fell because Rafak al-Khajan and his companions slew the evil beast. The times of troubles ended because those like the mage Midnight rose to the occasion, in their case taking the mantle of divinity from the slain celestial Mistra until she could be resurrected. Now we come to the precipice of another such event, a budding calamity that could warp reality as we know it. Though there is no prophesied chosen one, no foreseen savior, if you play your cards right, you might just be able to avert what is to come. Or perhaps your story will simply serve as a cautionary tale for those who survive. Despite this, it all starts with something as mundane as fetching groceries for your parents. We open on Nashkel, a village on the northern slopes of the Cloud Peaks. The late spring rains have abated, making the trek across town to deliver a commission for your father at least a bit less muddy. As you make your way back along the main street, though, it is hard not to notice that your otherwise quiet home is riddled with strained, whispered conversations.
Chapter 1. Okay. No, we're supposed to stay in first person, but... yeah, here we are. Here we start. Well, so let's see. Got a Dragonborn, I don't know.
Standing behind his produce stand is Eric, one of the farmers living on the village's outskirts. You have known him for most of your life, though he is still young and smile lines have only just begun to crease the sides of his eyes.
Your father said you'd be along to pick up his purchase. I don't envy him his back problems, as if he didn't have enough to deal with already as the head. Anyhow, here you go. I'm sure he appreciates having you around to do all the heavy lifting for him.
Thanks, Eric.
Sure thing. Just make sure to get home safe.
Take care, Eric.
Mm-hmm. See you around.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of the races already.
You hear voices from inside your house. Perhaps it is worth waiting and listening in.
Then I just heard about it this morning.
Does anyone else know?
I caught one of the trackers before he could go out to look for Helsa. He said he'd check it out while the trail was still warm, if there was one, but I don't know if he told anyone else first.
We'll have to assume that he did. People are already starting to panic, and this will make it worse. I heard people at the market this morning talking about unfamiliar monsters. No one had seen the things themselves, but the rumors are bad enough.
This goes on and you'll have a mob at your front door demanding answers.
I'm surprised we haven't seen one already. You've got to get ahead of this.
So what are you going to do about it?
Give me a minute. I've got an idea, but I want to talk it over with Katra first. You're welcome to stay if you like. They should be back soon. Ah, there you are. Put the food on the table and come talk to me. There's something we need to discuss. Listen, you've heard about the people going missing. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, but the whole Kelsit family is gone now. Neri found their farm empty this morning without even a sign of struggle. This is asking a lot, and I've got a feeling your mother's going to kill me after I say this.
Then don't say it.
But I need you to go speak with Endan Dravair and ask for his help.
You're right. I think I will throttle you. Are you insane? People are going missing, and you think sending Katra out into the woods by themselves is somehow a good idea?
I have to agree with Ilan. They'd make a tempting target.
The trackers have been going on their own, and no one's bothered them. Besides, after all the training I've put Katra through, they should be fine on their own.
Yes, but you could just send one of the trackers, or someone else.
I want the trackers to keep looking for our people. Other than them, there's no one else I'd trust in the woods more than Katra. After all the times you've run off into there as a kid, you probably know the paths better than most of the villagers. And Vair's important. His ego probably won't let him talk to just a random villager. Neri could go, but she doesn't know how to fight, and I don't want the community's healer to be missing for a whole day if someone breaks their arm.
And you're not worried what Vair might do to them?
He's fine.
Unless Katra does something really stupid, which I would trust them not to, they'll be fine.
Mom, if I can help the village, then I'm happy to do it. Besides, I was just in the woods yesterday looking for berries, and I was fine.
I was hoping you'd say that. This isn't exactly a enviable task. I'm proud of you. Now, Endan Dravair is a proud creature. He has the wisdom of the ages and probably knows something that we don't. But there's a good chance he won't help us for free, just on principle. If he doesn't, I want you to offer him money. This pouch has 100 gold coins in it.
100? Where did you get that kind of money?
I took it from the village's emergency fund. I'd say this counts. Rounded it out to 100 using money we were saving for a new roof. Start with a low offer, like 30, and work your way up, unless you think you're going to insult him or lose his interest. Whatever help or advice he can give will be welcome. If we're lucky, he might already know where our missing people are or where to look. A bird's eye view could show him what we need.
I still think that this is a bad idea.
If I'm being honest, it probably is a bad idea, but it's the only one we've got.
Is there anything else I should know before going?
At this point, you know everything that we do. I wish we could be of more help, but Vair's home is not far. Hopefully nothing will bother you on the way.
Right. I guess I'll head out now then.
Oh, before you go, do you want to do a quick sparring match? Couldn't hurt to brush up on your technique, just in case.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, now I've done this before, but just to show you. I mean, I've never beaten this world, but Rage! If you're from Final Boss Fight or have been watching their streams, you'll get the reference.
One more thing. I'm sure you can find your way and don't want me fussing over you, but in case something happens, you should take your father's old Wayfinder. Thanks. I'll take good care of it.
Just be careful, and come back in one piece. We'll be waiting for you with some dinner ready.
Yeah, so the Wayfinder is exactly how it sounds. Yeah, so let's just open the menu. Neither here nor by ear. Yeah, we'll get all of these covered eventually. Hello, halfling, I'm presuming. Yeah, so here we go. I've been doing Dungeons and Dragons for quite a while. Let's see how
What is that?
people like this.
Someone... Whoa! Stay back! Okay. Wasn't expecting that. I wonder
No.
if they got something to do with what's going on.
Yeah, so your health will slowly regenerate, but yeah, keep a close eye on it. And tell me if you want the volume a bit higher. Huh. That's good. I was afraid that was going to be a mimic. I couldn't remember what it was. Mimic or chest. Gotta be careful.
Guess this is it? Unless this Wayfinder led me to some old owlbear den. Okay then. What?
Well, having the volume at 100% probably helped.
What was that?
As you reach for the coin that seemed to suck the life from Endan Dravair, you note a crack running down its face. Whatever these people want with it, you doubt they should have it. The moment you touch the metallic surface, though, a jolt of energy sears through your fingers and up your arm, followed by a sense of pressure, as if the ocean's tide were rushing into your flesh. Recoiling, the coin is adhered to your fingertips, bound there even as you feel that the force pouring from it stretches your skin and crushes your bones, threatening to rupture and burst your entire body.
Fun.
Rather than your body, though, it is the coin that bursts, erupting into shards of metal as the same light that flowed into it earlier streams into you. The physical pain abates, though something continues to press on your mind, clawing its way into your thoughts and filling your skull as the world around you distorts and turns insensible, chaotic, and then, finally, dark.
What happened? Where is...
Who are you? What have you done to me?
I don't know.
Answer me!
Please, stop! Who are you? What are you doing to me?
Who am... I will ask again. Who are you? What happened to those people in my cave?
Your cave? Who or what are you?
Do not play games, child. I am Endan Dravair, and you will answer my questions.
My name's Katra. I live in the nearby village. You're saying you're the dragon?
Do not play games with me, child. Now answer my questions. What happened in my cave, and what have you done to me?
I wasn't with those people, and I only saw the last part, when that weird coin started doing something. It looked like they were pulling something out of you, and then some thing was put into your body. I thought they'd killed you.
They might have.
Did you see anything? I think I was unconscious for a while, but I must have walked to get back here, right?
I only came back to consciousness when you were calling for your parents.
What do you remember?
I remember. They must have trapped my soul in that coin. I have heard of artifacts that can do such. I had never expected that it would be so painful, though. It felt like I was being torn and pulled apart, then crushed until I could not even tell what part of my body I was feeling. I suppose, though, that I was not feeling my body at all. After that, I saw the thing seeping out of my body, but I could not see if I was breathing. Everything after is unclear. It hurts to remember. I was still reeling when the next thing I clearly saw was your face. A moment before I felt that transfer again. Then we were here. Now we need to return me to my... Do you smell smoke?
Yeah. I'm going home. I need to see if anything has happened.
This is a waste of time. You need to find the people who took my body immediately.
Only after I see if they went to my village first. They may have done something. No. Mom! Dad! Nadi! Posh! Tanil!
So there is someone left. Oh, I figured there would be a few of you bumpkins left scurrying about like rats. Well, we can't have you going and squealing to your neighbors about us, no. We want things to be quiet and peaceful, so you will have to come with us.
What have you done to my home? Where is everyone?
Take or kill them. We'll have no witnesses today.
Right! Yeah, it should be a bit.
This was my home.
Not anymore, it would seem.
Why would they do this? Where is everyone?
Do you actually expect an answer to that question, or are you simply asking empty questions to hear yourself speak?
No, it's just... This is a lot to process, and... I feel sick.
We do not have time for you to be pathetic. Your little village is gone. Accept that and move on.
It's not helpful. But I suppose you're a bit absorbed in your own little world anyhow, aren't you? Not like you've ever cared about us before.
There was not much to care about. Even less now.
It's cruel and not appreciated right now. I understand that you're upset, but I am too. So can you please lay off?
Fine.
So what are we supposed to do now? I don't have a home, and you don't have a body, and I'm not letting you take over mine.
I do not think that I could even if I tried. As much as it galls me to admit it, all I can do is hurt you. I think that I could kill you if I truly wished, but that would likely end my life too.
That's good to know.
We shall hunt the people who took my body. We will find a way for you to put me back, and I can force answers out of those treacherous eels. Perhaps you can use the coin again to set things right.
But it exploded when I touched it. It felt like something was being forced into me before I blacked out. That must have been when you came.
Without the coin, I doubt that you would have been able to restore me anyhow, much less after whatever that monster of theirs did to me in the times since. It seemed to be fusing with my form. It might have been feeding, but that was not the impression I felt.
So I've got the same question as before. What now?
Short of purging my soul from your body, which I would not recommend lest you want me to destroy the both of us first, you will need to put me into another vessel. Ideally, though, that vessel will be my own original body, purified of whatever has come to infest it. If your villagers were taken by this group, then finding where they have taken me will also lead you to the answers you seek.
Sure, but I don't know anything about healing dragons or moving souls from one body to another. How are we supposed to do all of that, or even find these people?
I think that the best course now would be to seek the advice of the scholars in Candlekeep. It is relatively close and hosts the greatest collection of knowledge in Faerun that I am aware of anyhow. If anyone would know of a cure or be able to devise one and be able to tell us more about this group of people that attacked me, then we will almost certainly find them in Candlekeep's great library. Rather than walk the whole way, see if that man with the cart is heading north. Preserve your strength while you can.
I think that's actually the first good, usable advice you've given me.
Do not push your luck with such frequent sarcasm, child. Find the cart and let us leave.
Okay. We have plenty of gold to use for when we undoubtedly need it. There we go.
Need a lift?
After nearly 2 weeks of walking, leaving over 100 miles of the coast road behind you, Candle Keep's soaring spires are finally close enough to reveal their details. Set atop a craggy peninsula, rising above the Sea of Swords, the fortress overlooks the surrounding farmland, while keeping a healthy distance from the wild and shadowy Cloakwood.
At last. I had forgotten how long it can take to travel when one does not have wings with which to fly. It certainly seems tedious. Remember, Candlekeep is the home of the Avowed, the greatest scholars on the continent. Be respectful, follow their rules, and try not to let anything too uncivilized come out of your mouth.
Anything I should know about this place before we go any further?
Last I was here, they only allowed the local scholars called the Avowed through the Emerald Door into the inner ward, where the libraries are. They have since eased their restrictions somewhat, I have heard, but be prepared to do some favors or pay for entrance.
Hey, with what money? You said the 100 gold my father gave me was a pitiful sum outside of your minor hamlet. Your words.
I am sure that you will figure something out.
Anything else I should know?
While the Citadel itself is a safe and secure place, be wary of the surrounding lands. I have hunted here before, and I have seen a number of foul, albeit fairly weak creatures here. Expect more than those few encounters we had on the road.
We? I was the one who had to do all the fighting.
Ha! If you call that flailing about fighting, then yes, you were.
You've been insulting me this entire trip. It'll be a lot easier for the both of us if you stop acting like such a creep.
I insulted you that first night, for which I apologize. However, I have since only cited your shortcomings and your need to address them. Whether or not to take offense to facts is up to you.
And it's up to you to be nicer about it.
Niceties are a waste of breath. Though I suppose that metaphor no longer applies to me, does it?
Anything I should know about this place before we go any further?
Last I was here, they only allowed the local
Okay.
scholars called...
Well, I'm actually looking forward to this, Vair.
What did you just call me?
Vair. Come now. Endandravair is a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Endandravair is the name given to me by my mother, a great worm of majesty, wisdom, and beauty, the likes of which you can scarcely imagine. Vair is childish, altogether too familiar.
Yeah, but it's easier. And it's what everyone at home called you. Now let's get going. We're burning daylight.
Excuse me?
Well, technically it doesn't seem to... Oh, yes. Well, technically, it seems to be dawn, so... This is very well done.
These fields look almost untended, and I do not hear any farmhands or livestock. Have these places been abandoned for some reason? Keep a keen eye out. If these people fled their homes, they must have had a good reason to do so.
Hey, you! Wait, I've got something to tell you about those guards. We're starting to wonder if you'd actually stop to talk.
What do you need to warn us about?
Well, the guards aren't going to let you in. I saw you coming up the road, and it's pretty clear you're not from here, so no one's going to let you in, even to the Court of Air.
Why aren't they letting strangers in?
People have been going missing in the area. Travellers and locals alike. Those farms you pass by, for example. Yeah, the families that live there just up and vanished. No sign of an attack or anything. So the people in charge are getting right paranoid and only allowing residents to enter the city.
Okay, but we still need to get in.
We? Who's we?
Oh, sorry. Slip of the tongue. It's been a long journey.
Fair enough.
What's the Court of Air?
The first time era. It's a big courtyard area, kind of like a small town in itself where people who aren't among the avowed can live, work, and just find some lodging if they're travellers like you. Only the avowed are allowed to stay in the inner ward after all.
Who are you, anyhow?
Oh, people around here just call me Scratch. It's not a very inspiring nickname, but better give 'em my real name in case the authorities come sniffing around. Used to work in the city office as a scribe, but didn't work out.
So how do we get in?
If you're gonna enter Candlekeep, you're gonna need a residence pass. They handed them out to all the locals in their jurisdiction, but it was pretty rushed, and with my special set of skills, I can make one that will fool the guards into letting you through the gate. What do you say? 25 gold, and the documents will be all yours.
He is telling the truth about people vanishing and the guards being extra cautious, but he is also scalping you with that price.
I don't have much money to spare, and you don't look like you have many customers. Drop the price to 10 and I'll pay you.
No, I don't, so I need to make each one count. 25.
Fine. We have a deal.
Good. Now, I can't make this pass from nothing, and I sold my last copy a week ago, so you'll need to find one of your own that I can modify. Look at those farmhouses, though. The families there were either taken or left in a hurry. There might have one or two lying around. Bring back a copy, plus payment, and I'll get to work. Be careful, though. The people are gone, but I've heard some rustling around there and other strange sounds. Never seen anything, but gives me the creeps. And I think I saw someone go into one of those houses, maybe to stay the night, but I never saw them come out. Probably just missed them, though. Good luck!
Of course, we have to do the legwork.
We? I'm the one doing all the work. You're just along for the ride.
I will contribute as best I can. My advice by itself could prove invaluable.
Yeah, if you ever give it.
Okay, let's see here. Oh. Whoops, okay. Yeah, this is to get something up.
What is this thing?
Some sort of construct, it would seem. I would presume that it is guarding this house.
Rage!
More malicious intentions.
Thanks, but that advice isn't helping me to kill it.
Just tear it apart. If it cannot hold itself together, it is no threat. To think you needed my help to figure even that out.
Oh, if they only had a brain. There's no one I missed. So should be some. Hmm. There must be one I missed. Oh, yes. Two, it seems. Rage!
Finally! What were those things doing on a farm? I don't think seagulls justify that level of protection.
No, perhaps they wandered here. Rogue constructs are not unheard of. Still, you might learn something if you look around. Then again, what have scarecrows to do with our mission?
Not much, I guess.
Katra, I'm going to try something. Do not be alarmed if things start to look different.
Wait, what? Whoa! Okay, what's going on?
I said not to be alarmed. I was uncertain if I could do this while in your body, but my intimate connection to the material plane allows me certain privileges of perception when...
Plain speak, please. Village kid, remember?
Of course. In essence, I can see some elements of magic, how enchantments work, their origin or nature, what they draw power from. It depends on the situation, but you get the gist of it. Perhaps this will help on occasion, though I must admit that it is somewhat taxing to use this ability with your body. Please be quick.
It's a mess of dirt. There's a hole where the stake goes, but you can't get anything useful from this.
Lower planes?
Other realities connected to ours, where evil things like devils and demons live, among other unsavory entities. Hades, the Abyss, Pandemonium, none of them too pleasant to visit.
What would that kind of magic be doing here?
I cannot say. Some people draw power from such places, making contracts with fiendish creatures or finding other ways to tap into those planes' powers. Sometimes creatures from there also escape into the world, either through a summoning gone wrong or random circumstance. We have too little information to judge by. Still, this is worrisome. Be careful, lest a Garistro catch you by surprise and turn you into a snack.
A what now?
Giant minotaur-like, pig bat-faced demon thing. Not great at parties.
I suppose it would be.
Vair, was that a joke?
Do not call me that.
Okay, let's see if I remember. The onions can stay, but fireball can... You know what? I'll just put the gold coins in here.
Folded and then stuffed haphazardly among a pile of now rotting onions, you find a piece of parchment marked with an official-looking seal and titled Evidence of Residence in the Candlekeep Territories. A bit wordy and a bit more aromatic than you'd like, but it should do the trick.
Good. Now return to that individual Scratch. Let us hope that he is adequate to the task.
Hope or not, we don't have many other options to resort to, Vair.
Why must you insist on calling me that?
It's what everyone in the village called you. It's easier than saying your full name.
Be glad that I am a magnanimous and forgiving dragon, else I would be inclined to start tearing up your mind again.
Don't worry, you're already a big enough headache as it is.
Ah, is that a bit of legal documentation I see there? And smell? Okay, well, you work with what you've got, right? Give me a bit to scrape off and refinish the important parts, then I'll start with colour matching, then confirming handwriting, and your eyes are glazing over. Just give me the goods and wait a bit. And here you go. Certification that you absolutely belong to the area and can come and go as you like. Just don't let any wizards near it. They get curious. They've probably got spells or something that can sniff out a forgery. Otherwise, though, no one will ever be the wiser. Enjoy the castle!
Papers, please.
Here's my residence certificate.
The guard glances at the paper, noting the seal and the signatures, but does not peer too closely. Watching him scrunch up his nose, the cursory inspection might have to do with not wanting to put his face too close to the smell of rancid onions.
All right. Everything looks fine. Head on in. Just keep an eye out for any strange activity.
And here we are.
Passing through the city walls, you are dumped into a large, open square that seems to double as a marketplace. It is not exactly brimming with life, but considering how you've lived nearly all of your life in a small village, the number of people in one place is staggering, and the activity threatens to be overwhelming.
Good. That was tedious, but we made it. Now the next part could be problematic. Only the Avowed and certain others are allowed into the inner ward through the emerald door on the far side of this courtyard. Talk to the keeper there and determine what is required to get in and speak with one of the experts.
Well, it's a start. The Merry Unicorn Inn.
What business have you here, child?
I wish to speak with one of the researchers.
You and everyone else. Do you have an appointment or letter of introduction?
Yes. I am to speak with Avowed Tenbury.
There is no Tenbury on our list of Avowed expecting appointments. Not today, nor tomorrow, nor any time this week, it would seem. If I were to hazard a guess, I would wager that we do not even have an Avowed named Tenbury, or if we do, that they have never heard of you. Keep this up, and I will make sure that the guards remove you from the city, so that none of the Avowed ever hear from you, except perhaps while doing a census on criminal activity.
What is your job here?
I am the keeper of the Emerald Door. If you cannot deduce my duties from that, then a Nexus of Learning may not be an appropriate place for you.
Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
This is unacceptable. We must find someone to assist us, and soon. I can only imagine what those monsters are doing with my body, and already I chafe at being confined to yours.
Wow, thanks. Well, do you happen to know where we could find a rare or unique book?
No. Distasteful as this may be, we might have to find another dubiously legal way around this problem. Actually, I remember passing a sewer grate earlier. If there are sewers for this outer area, then they surely have some for the inner ward.
So, you want me to break into a sewer, sneak through Ogma knows what kind of filth, and then break into the inner ward to, what? Kidnap or threaten a scholar into helping us?
Presumably, we would be able to find someone more reasonable, or at least amenable to our request. However, we cannot do that from out here. The sewers are our only option right now.
You only say this because you won't have to smell what I do.
Actually, I will. You think I only see through your eyes? Child, I am bound to experience everything that you do. Believe me, sharing in your bodily functions these past weeks has been far from enjoyable.
Ew. Okay, point taken. Sewers it is then, I guess?
Yeah. Enter the sewers. Ugh. Ugh. Give me one moment. Okay, so carry on then.
this what living in a city means? How can one place produce so much filth?
You sounded as if you knew what you were getting into.
I thought I did. Didn't think it'd be this plentiful.
The byproduct of civilization. People are messy.
Vair, are you okay?
Do not call me that. It's strange. Even without a body or the need to breathe, I feel a tightness in my chest. Lightheadedness. I think that it would be best to spend as little time in here as possible. Please, hurry through this place.
Wait, you don't sound so good. What's going on?
We need to move quickly. You are wasting time.
Something is definitely wrong. Are you hurt? In danger?
No. Now move. Go.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No. Now stop asking idiotic questions.
Well, I was actually just getting used to the smell. Thought maybe we could wander around a bit. Maybe find a spot for a picnic.
No. We will move through here as quickly as possible. Do you understand?
All right, let's make this quick.
That is the right direction, and it seems to no longer be sewers beyond this point. These are probably the tunnels running beneath the inner ward I have heard of. Catacombs, vaults, labs. Much of the work and knowledge of the Avowed is down here, it seems. Unfortunately, there is a ward on the door. You will need to find a key, unless you wish to be fried.
No, I don't.
Okay, get the coins. Healing potions. Regeneration potions. Yeah, walk around in a circle.
Wait, look at that. On the ground.
There's nothing on the ground.
Precisely.
Helpful?
The rest of this place is a riot of grime and muck, child, yet this path is almost spotless. I would be willing to bet half of my entire horde that a gelatinous cube has come this way.
A what now?
An oozing monster that inhabits places like this. Some people and more intelligent creatures keep them as witless guardians and janitors. The things absorb and dissolve any animal or plant material they touch as a way of eating. They cannot dissolve metals and other non-living things, though, so they can carry the equipment and goods of whomever they have eaten for some time.
Whomever? As in people?
Of course. Do not be dense, child. Now follow this trail. We might find something interesting floating in the cube's body. Just be careful, though, as they can be transparent and thus easy to overlook. There, look. The thing has a key inside of it. It must have eaten a maintenance worker or one of the Avowed.
Rage!
Into the clean part we saw earlier. Just don't let the creature suck you up. Please? Yes, it looks as if an enchantment quite similar to the one on the locked door is embedded in this key. It should work to get us through.
And what if it sets off the trap?
Then you had best hope that the mage who put it there set it more as a deterrent rather than a defense.
Was I not paying attention, or did we not get... Okay, looks like we did.
Going to open the door. The magically trapped door stuffed with potentially lethal lightning. Right, okay. And still alive. Right, well, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, be not so dramatic. You could find much worse before we are done here. I have heard tell that there are guardians and occasional escaped experiments down here, though that may just be rumor.
Wow, thanks. The possibility of even greater danger certainly sets my mind at ease. Thanks, Fire.
Stop calling me that.
What?
Get back!
Rage!
Good job. That creature was known as...
A mimic. Yeah, I've heard of those things. Didn't expect it to be so... slimy, though. Why did it have a key inside of it, though? Did it eat someone like the cube did?
Probably not. Otherwise, we would have seen some more gruesome evidence of the meal. No, some people feed mimics various items that they need to hide or protect. If you know how to handle one of these things, they can be rather convenient guardians. As long as you keep them fed, that is.
Yeah, I can imagine the alternative.
Rage! Okay. Okay. Rage! Yeah, it's a good thing I only have Call of Cthulhu tonight, otherwise, my voice would get torn up by all the raging. Did I go in a... Dead end. This looks to be where we started. I can't remember. What? Okay, so the Wayfinder does work down here. Okay, I don't think that's any help. With this place being a maze, yeah. Rage! Hmm. Rage! Ah, kobolds. And they're not cuddly like Casper. Rage! Oh boy. It's like a small army down here. No pun intended. Hmm. What is this? Ah, there's something different. Hmm. Right. Come on. Okay. I'm pretty sure this world is multiplayer, so if you've got some friends, yeah, this could be a good one. Right.
Well, unfortunately, it seems that this ensorcelled armor is tied to the exit. Unless you have a powerful dispelling magic at your disposal that you have neglected to mention, you will have to defeat this thing to undo the seal of the door.
You're saying I have to fight a piece of armor with no obvious weaknesses, or even a person inside to take out? Let me guess, I have to just beat it into a useless hunk of metal, kinda like I did the scarecrows?
Precisely.
I'm really starting to hate constructs.
Hmm. I'm not getting close to this thing. Okay.
This better be worth all the trouble we've gone to, Vair. How are we going to get someone to help us, though? We're breaking in.
Let us consider that later. First, we need to get out of these tunnels. Someone might have heard the battle or noticed that the enchantment on the door is broken. We can determine our course once we are safely hidden within the inner ward.
Ah, nice place. Thank you. Unfortunately for you, chances are that you will only see it as you are taken away to a prison cell.
Get us out of here. We cannot be imprisoned. Not in a cell. Fight! Run! Do something!
Are you joking? There's so many of them! We'll be torn to shreds if we resist! While we would normally have prevented you from coming this far, Sage Thesserai has taken an interest in you. Now you are to attend him personally.
Whatever you do, do not allow them to incarcerate us. Do not give them a reason.
Who is Sage Thesserai? Seriously, you broke into here without even knowing who the people in charge are. Not a very wise burglar, are you? Who are you? I am a captain within the Avowed City Guard, and probably the person to lock your cell door behind you. That is all you need know.
What does this Thesserai person want with me?
Sage Thesserai said that they found you curious, but did not elaborate. They also said that your meager powers could not pose a serious threat to him or us. Keep that in mind, lest you try something rash.
Okay, I'll go. Where do I find them?
He is waiting for you in Exaltation, the Keep. Consider this an honor, as few of those outside of the Avowed are allowed entry to our home. You are to head directly to the Great Library. Do not attempt to deviate from the main path. We will be watching you.
Okay. Yeah, we can see about completing the armor later.
That is far enough.
Are you Thesserai?
I am.
What do you do here?
I'm the Sage of Magic in Candlekeep. That means that I am the leading scholar on magic and the department head of magical studies here. I also work as a lawmaker with the other sages. It's not terribly glamorous, if I'm being honest. Involves lots of committee work.
Why am I here?
You caught my interest. We have all sorts of detection spells in the sewers. You pinged a half-dozen of them when you sneaked in, and a dozen more when you entered the catacombs.
Poof! I am here! What are your other 2 wishes?
Wishes? I don't, Good one.
What happens to me now?
Do not attempt to resist the spell. If you resist, then we will have to detain you and try again until you cooperate. Lots of extra bother.
As the spell activates, you feel something press against your mind, and on some level you know that it is trying to pry away your ability to lie. The intrusion is sudden and sets your teeth on edge, and your first reaction is to resist. However, considering where you are and the promise of a jail cell, or worse if you do not cooperate, you relax and allow the spell to take hold.
Good. Now let's get the boring stuff over with. Do you intend to harm anyone in this city, be it specifically in terms of property or any other way that includes, but is not limited to, theft, spying, or harassment?
No, I do not.
Good. Next, why did you sneak into the inner ward?
I found a group of scary people in the mountains talking to a dragon who was living there, and then they sucked his soul into a coin to let some sort of horrifying mound of flesh shove itself into the dragon's body like it was a sock puppet. And then the coin shoved the dragon's soul into my body. So now we're sharing my mind, and it's really uncomfortable, and we both want someone to help us find his body and get him out of mine because he's a stuck-up jerk, and we don't know what these crazy, thoroughly creepy people would do with the dragon's body.
Well, that, certainly speeds things up. How about while we've got this handy zone of truth working, you just tell me everything you can about how this dragon came to inhabit you, and we work from there. Well, hopefully they will be able to use what you told us to find out more about this group that you encountered and the monsters accompanying them. In the meanwhile, we need to discuss whether or not Candlekeep will assist you in your predicament.
Whether or... How could they refuse us? Tell him that Endandravayer demands their aid. It is only fitting that they should restore me to my rightful form.
And Andravayer says that he demands your help. That it's only right that you put him back in his body.
Does he now? Well, I don't see as he is in any position to be making demands, much less determining wrong and right.
I am a golden dragon. My very nature is to know right from wrong. Tell him not to question me.
He says that he knows right and wrong better than you do.
Does he? Well, I may not be an expert on dragons, but I am a fan of them and have heard his name before. I cannot say that it has been treated with much reverence or gratitude, as Endandravayer has a reputation for isolating himself and neglecting to help those in need, even if they ask for his aid. Seems to me that we neither owe him anything, nor that we can trust his moral judgment, much less treat his decisions as lawful, righteous commands.
What do you mean? Are you turning us away? Why bother looking into the people that attacked Vair then?
Vair? Huh, funny. I figured he would be too proud to accept the nickname everyone calls him.
Everyone calls me that?
But no, I am not turning you away, at least not yet.
Is there a way we can convince you to help?
Well, yes, I happen to have something in mind. You see, there is a clock tower nearby where a colleague of mine named Adro lives. However, no one has heard from him in some time. Since there have been reports of monsters going in and out as they please, it is probably safe to assume that Adro is now dead. Sad as that is, the old codger had a valuable book in his collection. I want you to clear out the vermin, and if Wizard Adro is imprisoned or injured, help him. If he is missing or dead, then find and take the book. You do this, and we'll call it even as far as your crimes go.
This will clear the charges against us?
Yes, as these monsters could threaten travelers and any avowed who venture beyond our walls, if left alone.
What's the book I'm looking for?
The last written work of the late and great Archmage Mordenkainen, the Planeswalker's Guide, Interplanar Travel and its effects on spellcraft.
Sounds interesting.
Yes, fascinating, really, and far safer to learn from than by visiting the other planes of existence yourself. Adro got nearly everything he needed by selling us just an hour or two with that book every few months. Excellent! Well, in that case, I am looking forward to hearing from you once you have concluded your investigation. Until then, try not to die.
I'll try not to. Okay, there we go. Actually, hold on. Let's see if we can get the last piece of this armor set before we, head on out to fight more monsters. Let's see, our speed potion, confidence. Yeah. Just imagining my orc mork, real name Alan, here. Can we not get to the... I suppose we can't. Hold on. Well. Well, hopefully that will certainly be enough for when we get to the next chapter to, you know, get the next armor. All of it. Huh. Okay, then. Yes, I'd like to buy a pair of boots, please. And there we go. Route complete. Level 2 boots. Okay, off we go.
I have been instructed to allow you to and from the inner ward as you please. But if you step out of line again, I will arrest you. Enjoy the sights.
Pleasant woman.
I don't know. I figure you two would get along handsomely.
I understand that was supposed to be a joke, but even so, I fail to see the similarities.
Yeah, you would. Not these things again.
Rage!
Why were they here too?
If I were to hazard a guess, they are guarding the path to the tower.
You think the person who put some in the farmers' fields also left these ones here?
It is possible. We will discover more at the tower, I suspect.
Well, I completely missed. There's something a lot bigger than scarecrows on the way, so, Whoops. Okay, we're getting closer. Okay, hold on one moment. Yeah, we're getting into the IMAX music territory. Actually, hold on. Okay. Excuse me.
That must be it.
A bit grandiose, but still quite appealing.
There! I see the monsters. Let's get this over with.
Wait, did you hear that? Well, I mean, I know you heard it because I heard it, but whether you acknowledged it or not is... It's those things again from my cavern.
You only caught a glimpse of things before the fight started and cannot determine what caused this. Perhaps they were arguing over food.
They're definitely fighting the monsters around the tower now, though. What should we do?
Vair remains silent, unresponsive save for the occasional guttural growl.
What are those winged red creatures?
Imps. Devils that are nearly at the bottom of the Infernal Legion's hierarchy. I find it curious that they are here, though it is possible that Wizard Adro has bound them to his tower as guardians. Still, it is a pitiful defense for such a respected spellcaster, and I do not know how the goblins factor into this.
Let's watch them tear each other apart. No sense getting caught in the middle.
Yeah. It won't save us some hell. As long as they don't come and attack us. Oh yes, we'll have plenty of gold for the next armor set.
catacombs. We must assume that this place is similarly trapped.
Can you see anything with your magic sight?
Yes, but I cannot make out the details from here. Nor am I terribly versed in wizardly magics. The spell on the door to the catacombs was heavy-handed and obvious. These enchantments are more subtle. I can point out general paths and principles, however, it may take the two of us to puzzle them out completely.
The inscriptions baffle you, and Vair is struggling to maintain his magic sight, rendering him unable to help. You kick the door and it buckles with a satisfying crack, even as a shock of lightning threatens to knock you down. Shaking off the pain and disorientation, you kick the door again, and this time it swings open, the enchantment holding it shut, overpowered and broken.
I must say, those were rather puny defenses as far as wizards' homes go. I'm increasingly inclined to think that someone else has taken residence here.
Human, stop! Leave or we kill you!
These creatures are terrified. Yes, they are scared of you to an extent, but something else has them on the verge of panic, and judging by their haggard, fatigued expressions, it has been this way for some time. Some of them are even eyeing the now open doorway as if they were attempting an escape just out of reach.
If you do not leave this tower right away, I will destroy each of you. I will spare no one.
The goblin leader stiffens, and you think you see him shiver.
We leave! We leave now! Go!
The other goblins seem confused, and several leave immediately. However, there are others who scream in terror and charge forward to strike you.
Rage!
Excellent work, brothers and sisters. This wayward lamb will be a worthy offering to our Lord and Savior.
Break us out of here, Katra, now!
Nice try, kid. But this trap was designed to keep creatures far more dangerous than you contained.
No! You shall not be caged! You filthy worms, let us out! Let us out! Let us out!
After a few moments of analyzing their clothing, something clicks. These people have neither bound the imps you found in and around the tower, nor are they simply borrowing power from creatures of the lower planes. They worship those creatures. The imps are almost equal in rank to these devil-serving cultists, which means that the threat of your soul being on the line is not at all an idle one.
What are you going to do with me?
Why, sacrifice you. Tempting as it might be to try and recruit you, we have been running out of souls to offer our Lord.
Katra, you have to kill them. Maybe you can break through the floor, or perhaps try the wall again, or do something to force them into lowering the barrier, or...
What are you doing in this tower? What happened to the wizard who lived here?
Oh, why do the people we capture always think they're going to get answers from us? What's the point of telling you anything? You will die soon, and it is more entertaining and safer to watch you squirm in ignorance.
Vair, I need you to focus. I need you to help us get out. Do you think you could see or find anything useful in this barrier? Maybe a way to dispel it.
I don't... I'll try. There are channels in this barrier that the magic has to flow through. If you I think that if you touch that glowing point on the wall, you can redirect the magical current to wherever you step. If you pull the current to every part of the barrier, I think it will disrupt the entire working and cause it to collapse. Oh, I'm sorry. It's quite difficult to think and maintain the sight for more than a moment at a time. Please hurry.
What happened? The prisoner!
Kill them! Kill them before they flee!
Do not even think about fleeing. Eradicate these scum. Destroy them for daring to imprison us.
Hey, are you feeling all right? You got pretty worked up when we were trapped, and have been pretty quiet ever since.
I am fine.
Are you sure? You kind of...
I said that I am fine. Do you not have matters to attend more pressing than badgering me?
You know you can talk to me, right?
Of course. I will avail myself of your ear if ever there is anything to talk about. Until then, I can keep my peace and enjoy silence every now and then, or must you insist on idle chatter?
All right. But it sounds to me like you're sulking about something.
How dare you? How about, rather than pestering me with your inane drivel, you complete this task that was set for you, so that the two of us might sooner part ways and never suffer the other's company again? Be silent and do your job.
Sounds like he's in denial. Okay, that's just decoration.
As you enter this room, you find the door across from you, the only way forward, shrouded in a magical barrier. In the center of the room sits a filled goblet on a pedestal. High above the door shines a crystal that is jammed into a crack between the stones. With Vair's help, you can see that the crystal, goblet, and barrier are linked. Even from where you stand, you can see that the crystal has a series of wards around it, not to mention that even reaching the thing would prove a challenge. Written before the goblet on the pedestal is a note that says, "An act of faith and proof of fealty to our Lord. Drink and embrace the shadow of death to demonstrate your devotion."
It would seem that the crystal powers the barrier, and that drinking the goblet's contents will either allow you to pass through it or temporarily lower the defense. Judging by that note, however, I would guess that whatever is in that drink would not be good for your health.
Sniffing and eyeing the substance, you can't make heads or tails of it. For all you know, it could be either a magical potion or a lethal poison. The walls are fairly sheer, but if you get up there, you might be able to disarm the crystal embedded in the wall. Sliding your fingers into unlikely crevices and supporting yourself on tiny protrusions in the stone, you manage to pull yourself up next to the warded crystal that powers both the barrier and the enchanted goblet. You puzzle over the enchantment, but no matter how you look at it, you cannot seem to understand its workings. Best to leave it alone. The drink is room temperature, but it leaves a sensation like ice pricking your skin as it washes down your throat. Nausea and cramps soon follow, but they are manageable and your body feels otherwise functional.
Are you sure you're ready to face whoever is behind that door? This is the last room in the tower, and considering that we have not encountered them yet, it is probably where this lord we have heard so much about is waiting.
Yeah, boss time. But not a final boss fight.
You should not have come here. You've certainly made a mess of things, and now our lord is upset.
Yes, though it has been entertaining to watch you struggle and claw your way here one step at a time. You have caused enough damage. Besides, I am bored. While sacrifices are all well and good, I enjoy brutalizing my victims far too much to ignore what hapless fools wander right through my door. Oh, suffer!
Oh dear. Did I miss? Oh jeez, I'm not even... Come on. Sorry, I've got plans that include living. That involve living. Ugh. Oh, for God's sake. Come on, come on.
The power of a devil runs through my veins. What do you have?
A, cranky dragon inside me? Oh, dear.
There, the Planeswalker's Guide. That is the book that Sage Thesserai sent us to retrieve.
Where is it exactly? Right here?
Now, what to do about this one? They seem rather powerful, but perhaps Thesserai and the other sages would prefer to keep them for questioning.
What have you done? You've doomed us all. Do you even know what is coming? You've destroyed our only hope at a safe haven against...
Against what? Enlightenment? Believe me, Novus, there is nothing that can protect you from the forces of the universe. They will learn.
Contra,
Give her some time to see the errors of her ways. Then she can dream that this never happened and apologizes before waking up. Useful, primitive and temporary, but even these figments of our imaginations that you call people create the occasional useful tool. Have you the eyes for such a thing? Have you the sight to recognize what lies in the blackest of this. It seems to me that you might, but... no. Never mind. There was something familiar about you. Perhaps something that I met in you some months down the line. Your role in this world is done. Enjoy the coming sleep and, in your slumber, be ready for the awakening once the true gods come to call.
Can you swim? Get us out of the water. Move, now! I did not think to see that thing here. That was more than we bargained for when we took this job.
What was it saying? I couldn't understand half of that.
Nor could I. It did not seem like a language barrier. Their accent and pronunciation was clear. However, whatever that abomination was spouting sounded like nonsense.
What was that about dreams and true gods?
I am as much in the dark as you are. They sounded at least half mad to me.
Are you okay? You seemed really shaken when it showed up.
And you seemed to be thrown from the top of a tower. Nothing about that encounter was normal.
The cultists kept saying things about that devil saving them, and then the last one looked like they recognized the masked man when he appeared. Any ideas?
None, except that they might be rivals for the same goal, whatever that may be. Still, the masked man talked about coming gods, and the cultists spoke of an approaching cataclysm. It is not too much of a stretch to think they are linked.
No chance we can go after that masked man, can we?
You would even want to? Are you mad? They toyed with you like a cat with an injured bird. You should feel fortunate that they went through a portal and that you are unable to pursue them. Hopefully they are gone far, far away.
I think I've had enough of this tower and everything in it. You?
Yes, I think returning to Candlekeep and its walls seems like a very reasonable and pleasant proposition.
Yes, well, that will have to...
Oh, I will admit that I want to know what they have done with my body. We were in no shape to contend with that man or monster or whatever manner of creature is behind that mask. Even if we should find a way to track them, though, perhaps there is nothing to be done for my body anyhow. It could already be gone, or simply pursuing that masked figure will result in both of our deaths. For now, report to Thesserai. They will want to know what we have found.
Yes, well, anyway, that would be all for today. I'm Brian Dragon signing out. Stay straight.